It's been deeply moving to me over the past few weeks to see the reaction of Venezuelans around the world at the prospect of liberation and freedom. Now, I'm not here to endorse or criticize either the action that was taken to remove Maduro from office, but I want to highlight something that's been very stirring to me, watching people weeping and dancing and embracing because they now have the prospect of freedom. They've languished for 26 years under socialism, and now they have the prospect of being free. And I cannot understand for the life of me why we in the United States would ever support candidates who endorse ideologies and espouse socialist ideologies when we have seen since the early 1900s the consistent oppression, murder, and failure economically of socialism. We can see, for example, in Soviet Russia, as I mentioned in a previous video, I would recommend reading The Gulag Archipelago by Alexander Solzhenitsyn, where you see the collectivization of the farms and how they deposed the farmers, took away their farms, and put in others. And next thing you know, you've got famine. How they arrested the engineers and then replaced them with cronies. And the next thing you know, you have power grid failures. How they begin to arrest people and secret arrests and send people to prison camps, and the brutality and the torture that they inflicted upon people. I mean, what we could say about other regions of the world, North Korea, what we see in China, what we see in all these other Cuba and other places. Why would we vote for the same ideology that we have seen repeatedly fail and repeatedly be oppressive? I was listening to a history podcast recently, and they were talking about East Germany. The Berlin Wall was the subject of the podcast, and so 2 million East Germans fled into the West, and as a consequence of that, they built the Berlin Wall in order to keep their people in, and they aimed their guns at their own people. Help me understand something. If you have an ideology and a system that is such that people flee in droves to the point you have to build walls and aim guns at your own people to keep them in and to keep them in line, what does that say to you about the system? Well, it'll be different here. It hasn't been different for the past 125 years. And so I would just encourage us, let's stop supporting this ideology, which has been destructive and is destructive throughout history and will be again.